are you all? Thank you for watching again today. We're going to be talking about our favorite Speaker of the House that ever was, Nancy Pelosi. And I briefly touched on this the other day during one of my GameStop videos, but we're going to talk about it a little further because the really interesting thing about this whole GameStop situation is what it's revealing to a lot of people. Like, we kind of always knew things were rigged, we knew that things were unfair, but I don't think we knew at what extent it actually was. And I think this year is going to be a lot of revealing. I think a lot of whistleblowers are going to come out, people having a crisis of conscience. So I think a lot will be revealed within the past year, and it's already starting to happen, which is what is so fascinating, again, about the whole GameStop situation. And one of those things I think that will be revealed is the relationship between Washington and Wall Street. I think there's a lot more going on there than we previously knew or previously thought. And what I'm going to talk about this story, we're talking about Nancy Pelosi, and what she did isn't necessarily illegal, but it does raise some ethics questions. And I say it's not illegal because obviously we don't know the inner workings of what happened here. We can only speculate. But again, that is the point of this whole thing. Is this ethical? Is this unfair? And that's what we're going to talk about here. So this article is in Yahoo Finance. They have a few articles on Nancy, and Nancy Pelosi's recent stock purchases raises some important ethics questions, issues for all of Congress. So again, I talked about this recently, and this is about her buying Tesla stock. So let's get into this and see a little bit more about what happened. Nancy Pelosi made some stock purchases last month that are raising eyebrows and questions about the ethics of Congresspeople buying and selling stocks. In December, Representative Pelosi, Speaker of the House, purchased 25 call options of Tesla stocks, along with a few other stock purchases. Why does this matter? Because under the Biden administration's new agenda, with its focus on environmental protections and combating climate change, Pelosi could benefit financially from these political gains. President Joe Biden is currently encouraging the purchase of electric vehicles, and this could mean lifting the cap on sales, providing tax credits to buyers, and a potential program incentivizing people to trade in used vehicles to buy an electric one. Biden also announced on Monday that he would be replacing the entire fleet of 645,000 federal vehicles with electric ones. This could create a conflict of interest, as a part of Pelosi's job will include working to pass these environmental and clean energy initiatives that her family now stands to profit off of handsomely. So that's the question right here. According to disclosure, Pelosi and her husband, who runs a venture capital firm, purchased call options at stake price of $500. Since the calls were bought last month, shares of Tesla have risen from 640 to over 890. The call options are now valued at 1.12. They were purchased between 500 and 1 million. So they've already gained financially because of this. Now, I didn't realize this either, but last year, Kelly Loeffler and Georgia Senator David Perdue, who both lost in the Senate races, Kelly lost her seats. She was accused of insider trading. Apparently, she bought stocks right after being briefed on the incoming pandemic. David Perdue was under questions, and this brought back a discussion of the Stock Act. Now, apparently, the Stock Act was passed after the 2008 financial crisis attempted to stop insider trading by making it illegal for government officials to trade stocks after receiving material or non-public information derived from their jobs or information that they received while performing their jobs. In light of the Loeffler and Perdue activity, the bill has been re-examined, and some people argued that it did not go far enough. And people are arguing that Congress is supposed to have the American people first, and arguing that it is unfair. They obviously are getting some of this information before the general public. So is it fair for them to use that information, allegedly, to go and buy stocks? And also, how do you prove that? The interesting thing about Nancy Pelosi is her nephew, Gavin Newsom, is my governor. I've talked about him many times before. He also had an initiative for the year 2035 to make all cars in California go electric. Like, you wouldn't even be able to buy a non-electric car. That was his goal. So this is something that has been pushed by family and pushed by her party. According to this article, David and Kelly were both investigated and they found no wrongdoing. So I do have to say that. And there are lawmakers right now, Elizabeth Warren and Jeff Merkley, who are working on a proposed legislation to make it illegal for members of Congress to do individual trading. So let me know what you think about that. And then I'll just wrap it up with this. I don't know how I feel about this, but it says Pelosi says Congress will be a part of GameStop scrutiny. So they're finally speaking out on this. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Thursday said Congress would be a part of scrutiny on GameStop Corp. As the stock makes huge moves on Wall Street. The California Democrat told reporters at a briefing that she understood the Biden administration is looking at the situation and will be reviewing it. She called the stock's moves interesting as some brokers moved to restrict trading. So we'll see what her stance on everything is and what changes come about in Congress because of this. Let me know what you think about the Nancy Pelosi thing. Is it fair for a member of Congress to buy individual stocks with information that might not be available to the rest of us? Is that fair or ethical, or is it not? And should they be not allowed to do that? Let me know what you think. Bye.